sewing and you get like patches of fabric left and individually they're not enough to do something really cool from, well, don't throw those away, because you can sort of quilt those and turn them into a fabric of your own, so you'll have a unique fabric. So today I'm going to show you how to do that and how to make these fantastic one-of-a-kind tights or leggings. So if you want to know how I did this sort of rocker chic look, then stay tuned for the tutorial. So the first thing I've done is laid out the pair of tights that I'm using as a model. They're facing inside out. And then I have taken all of these pieces of different black fabrics that I want to use to put this together and cut them out into sort of matching pieces and just lay them out with the tights on top. As you can see, I have a lot of extra fabric on top here for the hemming of the waistline. That's really important. And I also have a little bit at the bottom for the hemming here too. So this is the basic shape that I'm going to try to follow, and these are all double folded, so there are 2 layers of fabric here and 2 layers of fabric here. So the first thing that I need to do is sew all of these pieces together into one big piece before we can actually start making them into legs or leg pieces. So I have them facing with their outsides in right now, which means that I need to go into the top layer here of every single piece and stitch them together. There's going to be a lot of sewing here. All of these fabrics look very different, but what they all have in common is that they're all very elastic. This is really important when you're making leggings. I'm going to start by sewing that together like that. And then I'm going to come back and continue by pinning this to this. And then doing that all the way with every single piece until they're one big coherent piece. Or rather 4, because we have 2 legs and each leg have a front piece and a back piece. So this will be turned into 2 big pieces and this will be turned into 2 big pieces. So pin together all of the pieces for one of the half of the legs. So either the front or the back of one of the legs. I'm going to sew them together so that they make up one big piece. So when sewn together, the piece looks like this. So what we've done here is basically create our own fabric. So I'm going to put this aside for now and do the same thing to all the other pieces until I have 4 of those. So right about now, if you've done things right, you should have 4 pieces like this. So I have 4 pieces, they're just been put on top of each other, just to show you how the pants legs will go. So they're looking kind of fun right now, but you can see the whole pieces being sewn together, and I've used gray thread. You guys can see that. So what I've done next is put the tights that I'm using for measurement on top of one of the legs. So just to show you, I have one leg right here facing with upwards. This is the outside, and then I'm putting this on top of that so that the insides are facing outwards now. They look really weird because they are really uneven lengths, but that doesn't matter at all. The reason that I did that was because these fabrics have different amounts of elasticity, and I wanted to make sure that I had enough fabric for all of them. The importance when you lay these out is for the crotch seam to match up, and that's this one right here. So what I'm going to do next is pin this long side, which is the outer seam of the leg, and this shorter side, which is the inner seam of the leg. And I am pinning about 1.5 to 2 centimeters outside of the tights that I'm using for measurement. So these two have been pinned now. I'm going to do the same to the other leg and sew them together so that we're going to start to see that we have 2 actual leg pieces. And then once they're sewn, I'm going to have to cut some of the excess fabric off here. But before I start doing any of that, I have to try them on. So sew first, then try them on. Both legs have been sewn together and it's time to cut the excess fabric off. If you haven't already done so, now is a good time to try them on. I tried mine on and they fit, so I'm just going to go on with the next step. And the next step is sewing them together by the crotch here. So we're going to make the 2 crotch corners, or whatever you want to call it, meet all the way to the top, right here, where the waist is. And then go ahead and sew that. So once you've sewn your tights together, you need to try them on. And if you've added as much extra fabric over here by the waist as I have, you probably have a pair of pants that look like this right now, which is not too nice. But that's fine, because the next step is to fix the waistline. So what I need to do is get the elastic out. I'm using a 3 centimeter elastic, which is perfect for leggings, in my opinion. And I just need to decide how tight I want my waistband to be. Something like this, I think, will be good. And then I'm going to sew this shut right here and then attach it to the leggings. So this is my waistline and this is the elastic that I sewed together. So I am placing the elastic outside like this and then just folding it back like that. So I'm going to pin all the way around doing this, and then when I sew it, I'm going to sew 2 seams, one at the very top of the elastic and one at the bottom, making sure that it's really on there. And you might have to stretch the elastic just a little bit to fit the fabric as you sew. Final thing to sew is the hemming for the bottom that I've lined here. And then your tights are done! So I hope you guys had fun with this rocker leggings look. I know I did. I'm really happy with mine. So if you have any questions about anything from the video, just pop them below and I'll get back to you. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Rockin' leggings, rockin' in my leggings.